What is up, everyone? Welcome to episode 26 of NookTalk. Zach, the final episode of the year. Like, we did it.
Made my heart race for a second there. Final episode. And it's our first pre-recorded show, which feels a little weird. We can't reach out and touch you. Yes. Pat is looking as colorful as ever, as festive as ever. Yeah. Save the best for last, man.
Yeah. Like, you told me I need to dress brighter. So
I wore off on you.
So next week I'll be in like a lime green shirt. I don't even know.
Oh, man. Blend right into that background.
But I will say this. We are planning to do this show in the future live. Like, keep that live format. But just let us know how you feel about this format. Like, do you like it? Do you have any preference? I don't know.
Anyways, do you not want to have to watch our faces live?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's kind of the same experience for them. Different experience for us.
Yeah. This will be a premiere. So it'll kind of be like a live thing. Oh. We'll figure that out.
Hi, Nicole. I'm sure she's there, so that one works.
She's going to be like, yes, Zach said hi. All right, Zach. So this is going to be up the day before the Toy Day event, but we have data mines of the Toy Day event. And we discussed this a little bit already, and I got to say, man.
Brewster pops out of the Toy Day bag. Surprise reveal. Data miners have found it.
No, that would have been exciting. What we have, okay?
Ugh. Yeah.
Is the Toy Day is Christmas Eve, and there are looks like 3 steps. So the first one, you go to talk to Jingle. Jingle will basically give you the festive wrapping paper DIY. Okay. You have to make 3 festive wrapping papers for Jingle. Okay, so that's pretty, self-explanatory.
Common practice, yeah.
For that, he will give you Toy Day stockings in a magic bag. So, like, he's giving us an item we have access to already. You can check your Nooks for the set of stockings. I'm going to assume that these are, like, a different color variant than what we could currently get, which might be cool. So he gives us the magic bag with all the toys. And this is all data mines, by the way. And then it says, note, the magic bag is a temporary tool and will be returned to Jingle once your task is done. You can check how many presents.
That's not very Christmas spirity to take it back after he gives it to us.
He's like, all right, buddy, I need my magic sack back. You can check how many presents are left by examining it in your inventory. This is pretty standard to New Leaf if you play that event. Now, here's what I don't like. Here's kind of how it veers off a little bit. So the step 2 is gifting. So we prepared, Zach. We made the DIYs. We have, Jingle's bag. I'm not going to say sack. So now that you have the bag, you head over and deliver all the presents within the bag in no particular order to your villagers.
It's like White Elephant.
It's like, here, this might be a dress, but Eric, here you go. I don't like this. Can we stop right here? Like in New Leaf, I remember the whole month of December, you had to kind of pry out of the villagers like what you wanted. And they would be like, I want something orange. I want something, that I can bounce. I don't know. It'd be some like stupid clues. And then you would figure out which toy to deliver. This is pretty much like find a villager and throw a gift at them. So I don't know. Kind of weird there.
Yeah, it's a little reductive. And we've seen this basically since Bunny Day, which I find to just be odd. And you were saying, before we started that maybe this is why they locked it, because like it's not a lot to really write home about in terms of these events. I don't know. Yeah. I just, from the standpoint of people have been befriending and trying to love up their villagers all year, and then all of a sudden you're like, Cranston, enjoy these socks, and he's like, dude, I have pointy feet. I can't wear socks. Yeah. It's gonna poke right through. Like that, it doesn't match up. It feels bad.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know off the top of my hand like how many toys were added to the Toy Day event, but like there was at least 10, right? So like,
yeah.
Maybe Eric could have been like, man, I've always wanted a dinosaur to play with, or, it could have been a little bit more. Yeah. But anyway, the good news here is each gift you deliver will award you with +3 friendship points and a return wrapped present. So I'm assuming, I don't know what the wrap present's going to be, but I can assume that it's like one of the toys, perhaps. But that +3 friendship's actually pretty cool. So if you're like looking for, a photo from your villager, that could help out quite a bit.
Maybe Nintendo's trying to teach us that no matter what we receive on Christmas, to be thankful. Say, thanks so much, Aunt Judy, even if I hate this old CD from this band I liked 10 years ago.
Thank you for the Sublime album. Anyway, be sure to deliver them before your villagers go to sleep, which is pretty important. And before the 5 a.m. announcement. So if you do it before 5 a.m., you're good. I'm assuming you could just time travel and do it. So here we go. This is the $1 million question. Everyone's been like, Pat, how do you get the gift pile DIY? You know?
Right.
So you will receive the DIY when you successfully deliver over half of the presents.
Huh.
So how many? We have 10. So I think if you deliver 6,
5,
you get the gift pile. And then you will also receive the Toy Day sleigh if you deliver all of the presents. And that item's really cool. You can sit on it. It's pretty big. It's kind of like the spooky carriage. Yeah. And then this is kind of cool. This is what I like. Stage 3 is the day after. So we, on Christmas, remember those Toy Day stockings Jingle gave you? Well, hang them up for the night, then interact with it the next day. You'll receive a surprise from Jingle. Spoiler alert, it's Jingle's photo. So similar to a photo that you would get from one of your villagers. And that's it, Zach. There's your 30-minute event. That's pretty bad.
The big question is, why is it simpler than New Leaf?
Yeah.
If anything, the player base here is older, so they should be much more than capable of handling specific requests. But yeah, this seems to be the MO for the game, that they're simplifying holidays, across the board.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, this is probably a 30-minute event. Finding your villagers, crafting the festive wrapping paper. It's one of each of the ornaments. Mm-hmm. And then, you don't even have to craft the gift pile DIY. So in total, Zach, we're getting 2 new DIYs and 3 items. To me, that's not enough. It's Toy Day. It's literally Christmas.
Especially since 2 of them, one is a portrait variant, one is a stocking variant. Really, to me, the things that, it's really 2. It's the gift pile DIY and that sleigh.
Yeah.
And yes, there have been items across the entire month, so we can't discount those. But yeah, this isn't the Santa Claus I remember from childhood.
Yeah, this is pretty weak. Now, I don't know what they give you in return. I think it would be really cute if they give you each one of the different toys. But
the villagers? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It just seems like, I think you've said this before, it seems like the events and the holidays and whatever, the updates have just started on such a high and then came just crashing down. I thought Halloween was great. I thought it was pretty cute. But man, this one's kind of weak sauce, man. I'm not a...
Did COVID play a role in that, you think? Have they just been short on dev time?
I mean, this all seems pretty standard. The one thing that differs is the randomness of giving out the gifts. So it's just
it just seems odd that you would go backwards from New Leaf. When they do this, I'm just confused. Of no one was complaining that New Leaf was too complicated, so I don't really. Yeah.
I mean, you look at this event. I mean, what was the Turkey Day event? I thought was okay. I thought it was it took some time. Maybe they're cutting the events back because next year we're gonna get a different Toy Day. I mean, the actions are gonna all be the same. I'm kind of disappointed.
Yeah.
We both haven't done this is a date of mine. We both haven't done the event yet, but
right.
Seems a little subpar. I don't know.
If Pat's disappointed after your Halloween hallelujah, that's big news in the AC community.
And Zach, everyone loves decorating with gift piles the day after Christmas. That's always fun.
Yeah. The sad part is that's probably my favorite of the December items. I love that gift pile, and the variety, the color options are amazing. Mm-hmm. So it's weird. I mean, hey, enjoy the heck out of Christmas morning with that gift pile DIY.
Yeah, I do think the photo, how you get it, is kind of creative with the stockings, but
that is cute. The little interactivity. I'm assuming Jingle will tell you oh, make sure to, whatever he says, interact with my little socks.
So
give me back my magic sack and interact with my small sacks that I hung on your shelf.
Ooh, that's definitely a mouthful. Zach, let's talk a little bit about the year we've had with Animal Crossing. I just feel like we always say it's such a perfect storm. It came out. It was originally supposed to come out this time last year, and the fact that it got delayed, a lot of people are did they plan this? It just seems so perfect. But I don't know. Any lasting thoughts on what this game has done and the longevity of it and the future?
What strikes me the most is I think it'll be a 7 to 10 years before anything quite like this happens again. And I don't even know what if it'll be Animal Crossing,
Yeah.
Future Horizons. I think it's just like the community, the global community coming together was just so serendipitous. Obviously with very troubling circumstances, but it still was just amazing. I was just looking at these end of the year stats. Animal Crossing New Horizons, best selling game in Japan, top 5 selling game in the US, top 5 selling game in the UK, second most tweeted about game, one of the most Googled games. It was a cultural phenomenon, and that was really exciting and fun. I think my lasting thought is thank goodness for what we found out this week from Doug Bowser. I don't want to, jump too far ahead, but
Yeah.
I'm glad that it doesn't end here, because I think there was a sense amongst you and I that like Toy Day could be one of our last hurrahs, and that would be a big bummer.
I'm just going to go out there and say I think the original plan for this game was to support it up until spring. I really do. But I think that they have no choice but to support it. Is it number 1 in sales? Or
In
is
Japan.
That still more...
You mean for Switch?
Yeah.
The last reported figures had Mario Kart 8 Deluxe still on top, but by the end of the holiday season, it wouldn't surprise. Well, see, here's the difficult thing: the most popular Switch bundle has 8 Deluxe in it.
Yeah.
So, and you don't get ACNH with the ACNH Switch, which is so bananas. But
so strange. Yeah.
Either way, it's either right up there at number 2, or it will overtake and be number 1.
Okay. You kind of hinted at this, but we've always been like discussing like the future of Animal Crossing. Like we're always scared. We're like, year 2, I've said like this community is gonna die because like we don't know like what's gonna happen. But Zach, a man named Doug screamed from the heavens, and we have some good quotes.
This is really exciting, I think, and it's confirmation that we have never had in this, I guess, official of a capacity. They were doing an interview over at Polygon.com, asking about the cadence of updates. We talked about New Leaf had larger but less frequent updates. Pocket Camp gets updates all the time, but they're smaller stature. What are you doing for ACNH, Dougie? And Doug Bowser, president of Nintendo America, said that I see 2 potential avenues here. One you already mentioned, which has been our update schedule that comes from the developers. And that can be around seasons, it can be around events, it can be around enhanced gameplay features. And that will continue as we go forward. And with that, every Animal Crossing creator on all of YouTube exhaled as they know that their job is secure for another year. No, he continued to say that he does think that Animal Crossing New Horizons is unique because of the user-generated content. We're talking about, patterns. We're talking about island tours. And he said that doesn't happen on any cadence. That's an ongoing, constantly changing and evolving environment where people can visit each other's islands and take advantage of user-generated content, bring it to their islands, and share it. So I think that's another aspect that is really strengthening the engagement over time with Animal Crossing. And then pressed by Polygon to give him the official, they said, sure, but in addition to user-generated content, you foresee these sorts of updates that we've been seeing in the first year continuing into the next year. And he said, we definitely see that continuing. So that to me says more NPCs, more gameplay features alongside more items. And, he says that it can be around seasons, it can be around events, which makes me think that maybe they've got a few tricks up their sleeve.
Yeah, it was very telling. And you made a video about this, kind of diving a little bit deeper. And you're right. No one's talking about this. I think we're all just kind of like, no one has read about this. No one is, I don't know. I think there is still some hesitation because if you do listen to his answers, one of the things he emphasizes is user-generated content. Even there's an abbreviation for it or something.
UGC.
So, yeah, UGC. So it's that kind of scares me a little bit because I feel like, to me anyway, that's assuming that the community is still going to be interested, and because of design trends and seasons, that's going to be enough for some players. But, they're going to update this game. They have to. I mean, it's 30 plus million. But now it's what updates are we getting? Are they just filling in the cracks? Are we getting Brewster, Katrina, Happy Home Designer, things that are just glaring omissions? Or is it going to be just updated, new coat of paint holidays, which I think would be, of course, the worst option, but
I think the fact that he specifically says new enhanced gameplay features, like, to me, that's okay, like, we're still going to get extra things added on. It's not just going to be fresh coats of paint. They talked about the schedule of quarterly updates, and when Polygon asked the question, they talked about, at this point, you're releasing, like, once a quarter, a pretty significant update in New Horizons. Do you see that continuing? And he says that will continue as we go forward. So, like, probably getting a spring, a summer, a fall, a winter, and if those are chopped in half like we had in 2020, that's 8 big updates through the year. And like that, to me, that's huge news, because there's no world where I really predicted they would continue with the same level and the same significance. Now, what Nintendo thinks is significant and what you and I think is significant could be different, but the fact that they're talking about events, holidays, and gameplay features, to me, says like we're in the clear. It's not just going to be a new little item for the holiday, or it's not going to just be user-generated content. Like, specifically calling out gameplay features tells me that we're going to see similar updates for another 12 months.
Yeah, and that's what has me excited, and should have you, because you're like, oh, I don't want to see like new items and stuff. I want gameplay, things to do.
Bring it back.
I don't know. When I first heard this interview and I like really looked into it, first thing I thought of was multiplayer. Like, when a lot of people say gameplay, they say like, oh, what can you do with like your friends and things like that. I'm thinking multiplayer. But I don't know. Would you prefer quarterly, or do you want like mini monthly? Like,
it's interesting to me that Pocket Camp does adopt such a frequent update plan, given that by all accounts ACNH is more popular. Don't quote me on that. I don't know the numbers for Pocket Camp, but if I was Nintendo, I would think I'd want to put that out, but I think part of it is there's no monetization model for ACNH. There's nothing going on there. So until they introduce that, or if they ever introduce that, quarterly seems to be the fit. I mean, I think, it could be reading between the lines a bit, but his user-generated content comment makes me think that maybe the focus will be on events and gameplay and not as much on items. We've always hypothesized, the new holidays will switch out the items. Well, maybe given user-generated content, maybe that's not where their focus is going to go, and maybe instead it will be more around either new events or complete new gameplay things, a la mini games or multiplayer.
Yeah. And I mean, user-generated could mean like, here's 5 more design slots. Like, let's see what the community comes up with, which I think would be like a pretty cool addition. But man, I miss the days where I think it was like, was the one with the museum day, like all those updates together. I like those because it's kind of like, here's what to expect for the next 3 months. Like, I would say it's probably a worse situation for creators because we can't like, freak out for all the trailers, but that's what I rather have as a player. I'd rather have, every 3 months we have a trailer of what the next 3 months is going to look like, because I don't know, it just kind of gives me some assurance, like things to look forward to, the confirmation that they're going to update this game. I'm excited, man. Year 2 is going to be strong. I think year 2 is going to be strong.
I sure hope so. I think the interesting thing to me is the events, because they can't go add more holidays. They're not going to dig up, ancient calendars and uncover more special dates. But events, they had just a dabbling with like the bug offs and the fishing tournaments. Do they introduce more? Are there new NPCs that are going to bring about interesting new events? Do they, are they forced to bring in multiplayer so they can craft events around that? Because you can't make more holidays, and they can't expect that bug offs are going to be the hot new update in 2021. So gameplay, like, we have an idea, like Brewster, Katrina, things of that sort. But how will they surprise us? And I really hope that they do. I mean, to me, this sounds like a perfect storm. Yeah. So I'm gonna really be excited, and I think
we're talking about Nintendo now, Zach.
Yeah, I know. So I was gonna say, I think that the January update will be telling. I think if the January update is just welcome to Pave,
that's gonna be bad, because the Pave event is bad. Yeah, it's not fun.
And if it's a reduced version like we're seeing for Toy Day, goodness gracious. But if January, if they come through, then I think like you said, we're gonna be.
Yeah.
That opening salvo, though, is critical. I really think what they do in January is going to be interesting.
Super telling. My dream trailer for January would start off with Pave and then just keep going. Like February, here you go. March, Mario pops up like on your island. I still want that. I think it'd be fantastic. But like, I would rather have a look ahead, especially with January, New Year. Like,
Yeah.
you need to reassure people that their purchase is, still good for the second year. But I'm
And
excited.
Brewster.
Yeah, and Brewster. Man, the Pave event though, it's not all that great. You literally walk around your island collecting feathers in a net and bringing them back to Pave. Like, it's not. It's
Not a big deal.
Yeah, like, it's going to be like a 30-40 minute event. But, Pave's always had some pretty good furniture. Maybe we get some more DIYs. But I would rather have a look ahead. Like,
I hope so.
yeah. So, yeah, I was kind of surprised to hear that interview. It's always nice to kind of, like, for you, did the answers seem like, oh God, I just got to answer this question? Or, I mean, he sounded genuinely.
No, it sounds genuine, and I don't know. Maybe from Nintendo's standpoint, initially the AC devs did say like, "Hey, we plan on supporting this game for 2 to 3 years." So maybe Nintendo feels they've already covered this. But again, I think the hardcore players are like, okay, well, what does that mean? Does that mean that you just, you drop a new stocking color on Toy Day, or does that mean that you have actual things? And so again, to me, I keep going back to gameplay features. That means that the game is going to be evolving.
Yeah.
And not just swapping out item sets. So that's
Yeah.
pretty exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, multiplayer would be great. I really want them to just, I mean, they do cater to Northern Hemisphere. I know the Southern Hemisphere people get a little salty, but I would like to see an expanded, crops and kind of change it into a new game. And if you want to keep playing, I think it'll evolve into sort of like a Harvest Moon Stardew. So,
I mean, that would be great.
yeah. I would love
I'll
to
take
see
I'll
it.
take anything as long as it's big.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I'm just excited. Like, this game has done so much and created such a great community. And I feel like this is one of the few games, besides like the super casual, like Fall Guys and Among Us and things like that. But like, people have never, people haven't played video games ever, or like haven't played in like 20 years. So it's like the community that surrounds this game right now is like really healthy. It's really in a good place. There are some like, clicky people, but like, I don't know. I've been super impressed by everyone that I've met doing this. So I just hope the community stays strong and
again, that's why January, will be a big deal, because if they do hit a home run there, that'll be big. And I think I have the Brewster bias, but bringing in new characters, new shops, something of that sort would really be a way, I think, to jolt the player base, especially after the holiday break. So
they were saying end of January, right?
Yeah, late January is what the little title card said.
So we always play this game. Everyone asks us like, when do you think it's coming? I think personally, it's gonna be. I kind of like that Friday. That was kind of spicy. I'm gonna say January 22nd.
I'm gonna go with the 19th, Tuesday the 19th.
Okay. That's a good one.
Yeah. Third week in there, get it. I mean, what I would love to see, my perfect scenario is that Nintendo has an earlier direct to kind of set the stage for what's coming in 2021 for Switch, and the AC update is big enough that like it's rolled as part of that. Mm-hmm. That would be great. Man,
if they did new villager reveals, like, geez, if they just showed like 5 silhouettes, like a bird, a rhino, like, it'd be so amazing. That would just be the talk, man. But yeah, end of January, I'm very excited. I think January is going to like drag on for this community. People are already feeling it. They're done their holiday islands. They're just like, geez, what can I do? And it's going to be a wait. But yeah, Zach, we have some questions.
Hopefully people can maybe, get some games or get some eShop credit for Christmas. Maybe try something else out during the, is that blasphemous to say? You want to cut that?
Try something. No, there's plenty of games up there. There's like some great deals, man. Yeah, I mean, I have some games in mind, but Stardew's a great game if you want to get into that. Do you think, I don't know, we always mention paid DLC. I feel like year 2, right now, I think percentage is about 50%. I think they should introduce it. A giant summer update, maybe announce it in spring, or I don't know. They usually announce it like day and date, or I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, to me, this was a little bit of a nail in the coffin for paid DLC, just because he was so committal to, hey, quarterly updates, the same structure. Like we see that continuing, and obviously they can change plans if they have some big reveal. They're not gonna tip their hat, but I don't know. I'd be curious. I'd be curious how they felt like the DLC performed for Pokemon and for Zelda. Of did that factor into them?
Yeah.
Not doing it here, or do they feel like the community is so? To me, like I think Nintendo views the AC community as very pure and very innocent, and like we don't want to upset the waters. Like we have made this like perfect community. Everyone feels so happy about it.
Which I don't really buy into. I feel like at this point, all the people that you were just describing, I feel like are gone, and like now you have much more of a hardcore base. So
yeah, that's fair.
They'd be into it, but I mean, if it was paid, it would have to be something substantial. I'm thinking multiplayer, something that doesn't like dictate your game. So like multiplayer or like a different island with a bunch of new things. If I was Nintendo, I would introduce it year 2. I think it's safe thing. But still,
I think Nintendo would be smarter to make microtransactions. I know that's like horrible to say, but you're telling me if I could pay to have Brewster as a show up, or I mean, and maybe Brewster's a bad example. Let's pick somebody else. If I could pay, kind of like we talked about, if you could pay 99 cents to have Eric dress in a different special 2021 shiny outfit or something, I mean, to me that seems like they're just leaving so much money on the table in terms of skins and things of that, like very very small purchases, 99 cents, $1.99.
And they're still willing to sell Amiibo. Like they re-released the Amiibo. So like, why not just release single or villager packs? Maybe they could, oh my God, imagine if they did mystery villager packs. It'd be like pulling, what game does that? Madden or FIFA? I don't even know. But that would be
Ultimate
amazing.
Team cards. Yeah, I mean, some people have said like maybe they'll release a new Amiibo card series and debut new villagers. That would be massive as well.
Oh my God, that'd be so good. Kind of speaking with this, we're going to move to questions now. We have Jordan in Discord saying, this is great. Should Nintendo consider doing DIY packs as a paid DLC option? I think they can make a lot from that instead of having so many people frustrated from shooting balloons all day. It's a good question. What do you think about that? Like, here you go, the maple set.
Yeah. Well, would they be acquirable in game or ones that are exclusive to this paid, paywall?
I mean, they mention shooting balloons down, so I'm guessing like here's the maple set, here's the frozen set. I think it does speed the game up to like in an unnatural way, because like this game's supposed to be pretty chill. But I get it, man. Like there's 2 full sets in December to get, and like people that haven't hacked them in or whatever, like have you got all of them? I don't think so. So I would say. Yeah, I'm with you about the microtransactions. I don't know about DIY sets, though.
I think it'd be really convenient for people that didn't want to pay, but I think Nintendo loves the exchange of like, hey, I can bring you my old DIY. That's another way to get them. Yeah. There's also the thing of like, hey, we may not be introducing new items next Toy Day, but there are so many toys that like you're still going to have some to get. Or maybe you didn't, partake in getting some, like you said, like the Maple Leaf DIYs. Like, you can pick those up next year. So I don't foresee it happening, but I mean, people love things that can be acquired in-game, but also for pay. But to me, I think Nintendo's smartest move would be to introduce cheap editions that cannot be acquired in-game.
Yeah. I still say villagers. DIY, that's a good idea, though. We have Silent Day here. Okay, this is like for Zach. This is right up your alley. Because there's so much hype for Brewster to eventually join New Horizons, are you worried that his part of the game will be underwhelming? Oh man, this is Zach's worst nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, to me, Brewster is so self-explanatory, right? Like he's got to have the roost, he's got to do coffee, he's got to.
Yep.
The way he would be disappointing, I guess, is if he was a non-permanent NPC. If somehow he showed up in Red Slot or somehow he showed up in the plaza. Yep. A little coffee cart, that would be the only way to me he's disappointing. But otherwise, I mean, I can pie in the sky think, yeah, I'd love to work for Brewster and introduce all these new gameplay mechanics. But so long as he's there on a permanent basis, like I think it's going to be good. It seems like a pretty hard thing to screw up based on his history in the game.
Yeah. See, I was going to answer this question like, yeah, it's probably going to be underwhelming because we're hyping him up.
Aw.
But I feel like, no, I've changed. I feel like this game, and the main complaint for people is that we don't have enough, like, heart. Like, there's no charm. There's not a lot of charm compared to the other games. Brewster is the most charming character in this game, like, bar none. It's literally a coffee shop that you hang out and talk to him with. So, like, I think that's what this game is missing a little bit. Missing some charm, missing some familiar faces for older players. And then, like, imagine, you know, a newer player in this franchise just seeing, you know, this big old bird there. It's going to be great. I think it's going to be great.
You hit the nail on the head. Faces. Like, that's really what it's about. No one's expecting this to be, like, some new final level pack where you get to go journey, you know, under the sea with Brewster and shoot all the, you know, evil villagers. No, it's just putting this guy in the game is enough. And so I think even though the hype is very high, I would hope the expectations are set. He's not coming to change the world. He's just coming to give you some coffee. Which could change some people's world, but
with the whole DIY mechanic, like he could possibly give us some like, you know, coffee related items. That'd be kind of cool too. This is a good one. This is a YouTube related one. Chris in Discord says, "How long do you spend making one of your videos?"
I'm curious about this for you. I saw a post from you recently that said that you spend roughly 60 hours a week on YouTube and content.
Well, it depends what I'm doing. So, like, a design video, the actual, like, filming it and editing it, it's probably, like, an hour, 2 hours. Like, it's not that much. But, like, I don't know. I could live stream and do, like, 3 hours and only get a little section done. So, like, sometimes design video, like, I think the longest was, like, probably, like, 12 hours, 12 to 15 hours for, like, one.
And that's just putting together the whole area, making sure it looks perfect.
Yeah, and it's like I have to research and find these patterns. I don't want to like show people patterns that like everyone has seen or like things like that. So, and I like to, you know, build examples and things like that, and then put them on I like put all the patterns on the screen, do the thumbnail and stuff. But
if you had to guess roughly, because I'm interested in this, I wonder if people would be interested. You know, they see you stream a lot, they see your videos. What percentage of time would you say you play Animal Crossing like off YouTube versus on YouTube? So all that prep time you're talking about would be off YouTube. What percentage of your AC hours are off YouTube?
I mean, I do stream. I do like obviously make content. I do play quite a bit off stream, but like these are things like I try to make everything into content. I'm like a firm believer in that because people want to see even the boring stuff.
The whole process, yeah.
Yeah, but I would say that I don't know. I feel like it's like 60-40, 60 being content, 40 being off.
That's still a pretty good balance.
Yeah, I'm at 900 hours, almost 900. Yeah, which is low, Zach.
I know.
I have someone on my friends list that's like 3,000. Like, yeah. But so what about you? I don't know. You have like different style videos, and
everything seems to take a little bit different. Like if it's just a straight like, oh my gosh, the update's here, let's check it out. You know, that could be quicker, like you said, like an hour. But if you know, it really just depends. If it's a video where I'm throwing everybody's ideas on screen, you know, that's going to add in at least, you know, 30, 45 minutes of editing. If it's something where I'm trying to match footage specifically to what I'm saying, you know, that's a lot more. The pull back the curtain moment is like, does this matter? Like, is it worth all the time? Because no matter how fast you are, like taking the time to parse the footage to like line up or things like that, putting all the graphics on screen, doing the push effects and the cross dissolves and all that, like it's not hard. It just takes time, the minutia of it. So I'd say anywhere from, for my average, you know, 10 to 15 minute video, the total process is anywhere from 30 minutes to 3 hours.
Yeah. And that's true for me too. Like just the design stuff takes a little bit because like I like doing partially complete areas and then others I just kind of show patterns, but yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag, but it is always interesting. Before I did YouTube, I'm like, how much, like for me, editing is pretty easy. Like we both do pretty basic editing. Like
and we don't script our stuff, which I don't know. I see some people say like, "Oh, I've been working on this script for 3 days," and like, I mean, more power to them. Sometimes they probably make more brilliant videos than we can make, but that just has never been my style. Like my brain is in a way where like I need to be producing. So like the idea of spending like 3 days on one video, I think I'd feel terrible about myself.
And if it bombs, you're just like, oh God, what did I do? Yeah, I tried, because I used to review a lot of games. So like,
Yeah,
I tried
that's time
scripted.
consuming.
Yeah, because I like to play at least 75% of the game before I, review it.
Right.
So yeah, I've never done I tried a scripted thing and I'm like, what am I doing? You sound like a robot too, because like you're reading it, you want to get all the words right. It's hard. Not what I like.
I don't know how the guys like that script, but still do like skit type. Like it's not like they're doing a review. They're doing like for example, scripting out a video you or I would do about like, oh, this new Animal Crossing update happened. What do we think about it? Like scripting that just seems so weird to me.
Yeah.
But I see people and Nintendo people say like, oh yeah, I've been working on this script for all week, and it's like, what? Where are you even reading it?
Yeah. Like when I hear a review or like, when you're talking about Animal Crossing or something, I believe someone that is just kind of winging it. You can always cut things and, but yeah, scripts, it's not my style anyway. It works for some people. Let's see. Okay. Pietro over in Discord. Do you think it's disappointing that Nintendo is bringing out Pave out of all the NPCs instead of bringing out a new NPC for a big holiday like Valentine's or Groundhog? Jeez, we're digging, Zach. We want a Groundhog Day update with Resetti. So disappointed that Pave is. I'm not disappointed.
I mean, I think it's just checking a box. I don't think that Pave is in exchange for anybody else. To me, it's the exact same as seeing, Franklin or Jingle. It's interesting that he's the face of the update, I guess.
That's the weird thing for me.
But remember, like, Leaf was the face of the Earth Day update, and that update had plenty more than just Leaf. So I don't know that Pave... I don't know. I think, like, the worry is like, oh, gosh, that's the big thing is Pave, and we know his event is small, but I don't think that's the case. I think they're just throwing something up there to have a title card that has I don't know. I don't think there's a whole lot of significance in that.
Yeah. I kind of think I do agree. I think it's just kind of like, hey, Pave, remember Pave? Because everyone likes Pave, the guy Pave that I just discovered. But like, yeah, everyone likes Pave. So it's an easy kind of like, watch. It's yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. And then instead of, I don't know, Valentine's Day, Groundhog Day, I think that this first update at least should be kind of like a first 3-month type of thing. So I think you're going to see, I'm actually excited that Pave is the face of this because the event's lackluster. So that kind of opens the door, and they've done this before. They've padded update trailers with things like hairstyles and emotes and things like that. So be prepared. I think it's going to be good.
I think you 100% get a Valentine's Day nod. I mean, especially late January, Valentine's Day will be 2 to 3 weeks away. I think that's 100% covered in this trailer.
Yeah. Here we go. Smurfette. We were kind of talking about this before. Do you think 2021 will have different items added on holidays in New Bunny Day and all other holiday activities, or will it be the same as 2020? Do you think the holidays are going to be new in some way?
Before Bowser's comments, I would have said yes. After, I'm going to say no. I think now they're going to make gameplay additions and new events and new things of that sort, and maybe leave the holidays as is.
And guys, please don't be disappointed if you show up on Bunny Day and it's the same thing, because that's what Animal Crossing is. It's charming in a way. You'll get to love it because you're like, oh my God, I missed Bunny Day. But
it's like look at real life traditions, right? It's not like every year you have all new decorations, all new cookies. I bet your mom has been making some of the same cookies for like the last decade. So that'll be okay. As long as we look, at the end of the day, it may not seem like it, but if you get new gameplay additions, new NPCs, new potentially multiplayer, new things to do, that'll be so much more rewarding and replayable than just having different colored holidays, I think.
And honestly, I don't think I want them to update the holidays just because, like, there's so much more to do. Like, I don't want them to focus in on a one-day event. Like, I want longevity here. But yeah, I'm going to say 95% that they don't change them. That 5% exists because they are currently locked, which is a little sus. So,
that is very true as well. Huh.
I'm not going to rule it out, but that 5%, if I had to guess, there's probably going to be a new, like if they were to update holidays, I think there would be like a final new prize instead of like the last prize that.
Do you think that the holiday lock, though, is just to recreate the experience for new purchasers that we had? Because remember, when we started, we couldn't go to Toy Day.
Yeah.
So it would be weird if you got, Animal Crossing for Christmas and you could just go do May Day or go do Halloween. So I wonder if it's merely to preserve the experience for every player.
That could be part of it. The thing that has me confused is the backwards time travel. You can go to the older one. So the lock thing, I don't know if it's just a formality, but yeah.
We will find out.
Very interested.
In the end of March.
Here we go. Zelda of Hylia says, Pat, this is just for me, Zach. Sit back.
Okay, mute the mic.
When you say you're going to tear down your island after Christmas, do you mean wipe it all flat or restart completely? P.S. Hope your mom is doing well. Thank you very much. I'll get to that in a second. I'm not going to flatten my entire island. I think I'll do it in sections because just imagine a flat island. That's just so overwhelming. But yeah, I will be doing a themed island, and I've always said season 2 of the channel, or of Animal Crossing anyway. But yeah, I talked to my mom yesterday. She's still feeling the symptoms. If you didn't know, she has COVID right now. She can't taste, she can't smell. I just feel like she was looking forward to Christmas so much because we see each other especially this year, very rarely. So it was just kind of like the last nail in the coffin of the year. It was just like, geez, well, now what? So we are going to see her in January if everything is okay. Cause still don't know, what this is all about, but yeah, she has it. Her husband has it.
At least she's hanging in there. At least it hasn't, taken a turn on everybody, I'm sure. Yeah. Sending you guys good vibes, as am I, and as is my
But because of this, Zach, she has learned how to video chat, which is
there
very
you
advanced.
Go. Hey, there you go. So. Silver linings.
Okay. Carrie B says, pick your most favorite AC highlight from the past year. It could be an event, a new added gameplay feature, or even a memorable moment that you captured in a video/stream. It's a good one.
I think in hindsight, Bunny Day was the best holiday. But other than that, I think going back, my first encounters and the whole goofy shtick I concocted with Snooty, and the time when everyone was trying to figure out how to get people off your island, how to kick off villagers, just that whole chase race, time where it was uncertain, and the early era where it was the airport trick, can you influence the mystery islands you get, and all that stuff was just very, very fun and very fresh and kind of corny, but I loved it.
Yeah, I think a few things come to mind. I think Crunchy Island has made something so special. I didn't even know who he was, and everyone in the chat's Crunchy wants you to be in his race, and that was so memorable. And the first couple races was crazy. You're all pumped up. Second thing I have to say is that I got to collab with Tovlo. That was nuts.
Fantastic.
Anytime you you did Netflix. Anytime you're involved with something that you think is totally out of the realm of gaming and things like that, it's always surprising, and it really shows the power of this game. So that sort of thing. And I don't know about you, but I always found it charming throughout the year. These companies Cracker Barrel and things like that would make their own islands. It's just so funny to me.
It really did just spread, and some of it was gratuitous of everybody wants to do Animal Crossing, even though they have no business doing Animal Crossing, but it was it was very cute. And the podcast, this show right here, this is a great moment of Animal Crossing.
But it's always telling when companies and stuff use any video game as marketing. We've seen it a lot with Fortnite, especially Nintendo. That doesn't really happen too much, except BMWs in Mario Kart. But yeah, that's for me.
There's a lot. It's hard to pick.
Yeah. All right, this one's good. Soul Star Shine. If you had another YouTube channel, what would it be about? Well, Zach, you do. What if you had another one?
If I had another one? Well, I did. No. What would I?
Get Ready With Me channel?
I think it would be a YouTube channel where I talk about how hard it is to figure out what I'm doing on my other YouTube channels. It'd be like the behind the scenes. I've always wanted to make a channel called like formerly famous YouTuber, where it's just like me struggling with like what the heck I'm doing in life. And just like
I'd watch it.
Yeah. So that's probably, yeah. Cooking with Pat.
Ooh,
but you'd have to be
cool.
Patrice, because it have to be like with like some zest and some spice.
It's a whole nother shtick, put on like an accent and stuff. If I did a second channel, I mean, I'm not ruling this out, but just like a total personality channel, like I think that's
VHS
the only
tapes, Snail Mail. I saw your top music, Snail Mail. I'm like, I don't know who any of these bands are, but they sound interesting.
Come on, man. I have the taste of a indie rock chick, so yeah.
That's pretty
Snail
hot.
Mail's pretty good. But I would do a total personality / vlog. I know that's kind of cringy, but like I couldn't totally focus in on something else. Like I couldn't make like an Xbox channel and go as hard as I am on this. So it would have to be low pressure something or other. But
pretty hard to do interesting vlogs during COVID.
Yeah. All right, let's go to my bedroom.
Let's hope that wraps up at some point in the future.
Okay, and then Shane0191 says, if in the new year, by some miracle, Nintendo announces a Happy Home Academy DLC, and you get to design...
will lose his mind.
Yeah, I trick so many people. And you get to design the villager homes if they ask you to, what would your ideal DLC look like of that? Like, do villagers run up and say they're tired of their homes, etc., etc.? And what rewards would you get? Happy Home Academy.
I would love it to take shape as like a hotel that somehow you go to, and like all your villagers or all the villagers or different villagers come, and so you get to design their rooms, and so it would have a little bit more oomph besides just the houses on your island. To me, anything off island is just fascinating and exciting. I feel like we're on Lost and we're just stuck and we're just like, what's going to happen? There's this whole world out there we don't understand, we don't know. Will we ever get off island? But yeah, I would want it to be like, I've seen some people make these interesting suggestions or ideas of like, wouldn't it be cool if like multiple villagers came to the campsite, or if they built like little cabins or something to kind of have more of a like community type feel. And I guess I'd want it to build upon that and create some sort of like, villager motel that you would then design to, attract certain villagers or whatever. Like, I guess that's what I want. Rather than me designing Eric's room, I'd like to design a room and then like a villager comes like that has those tastes or those interests.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I'm kind of torn. Like, maybe it should be a reward based on friendship levels, because like there's really nothing after the photo. Like, you get the photo and that's pretty much it. But like maybe you can only redesign villagers that you have the photo of or something. I don't know, some like friendship based thing.
That'd be good. More incentive
for me though, I want a whole Happy Home Academy like sub island. Like, I really want like. And it'd be kind of cute to like travel to work and like, have different villagers come to you as customers. Not even the ones that are on your island. Just like, maybe you can be exposed to new ones.
I got the pitch, Nintendo. Partner with the people. I think I'm going to botch the company. I want to say it's Nimblebit, but it's you ever play Tiny Tower on your phone? They did like a Tiny Tower Death Star, and they, it's like a game. You make like the little floors, and then you upgrade the tower, and you have to take guests up and down. I want another island for Happy Home Academy, but then it connects to an app that you can constantly, like, it's like a clicker, and you're constantly like adding more bells and like appeasing your villagers and sending them through the hotel. Come on, Nintendo.
That'd be amazing.
There's so much to do.
I don't just want it to be like a side thing though. I feel like this needs to be a bigger thing, because there's a lot to do with it. It's like a whole interior. We focus on exterior, but this would be an entire interior. And then I'll end off on Queen Nicole, because she'll get upset if I don't read her question. What's one thing in Animal Crossing you want to work on more next year? Example, designing a certain type of home, a certain type of theme, getting pictures from villagers, working on finishing Nook tasks, etc. Any focus going on to next year?
I guess I'll take it a little meta and say that I want to try to find a new way to make video content on the game, because I mean, I hope the updates are exciting and alluring, and obviously I'll cover those in the same way, but like I can't see myself being thrilled to make the exact same type of videos for another 12 months. So finding some way to tap into something a little more creative with that. I know that's not really island based, but
no, that's good. You're absolutely right though. It's like, what's left? Because like I do design videos by season, so like I have spring to do because I really didn't do it back then. But like after spring, I'm like repeating myself almost. So
Yeah.
I would like some more things. I've kind of been experimenting with like daily vlog type things where I'm like just interacting with villagers. But
if you need any voiceover work, I got a lot of voices. So if you want me to voice the characters, I got you.
The British one. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. More of a focus.
I mean, you've done so much with like the mini games on Corneria, and like you put so much in.
Yeah, I think maybe like I don't know, maybe focus on different aesthetics. Like I know people make cities like, with like just crazy. People are just insane. I just want to up my game a little bit because like these.
What I'd like to see you do is I'd like to see you start some core. You make a core at the beginning of a season. Ooh. You tell people you get your island set, or even a section of the island. People go crazy and make it, and then at the end of the month or whatever, you kind of bring in the top. You take in the submissions, bring in the top people, and then kind of have like almost like a tournament of islands.
That'd be cool. That would be cool. Okay, Zach, this isn't a question by anyone, but I'm just gonna ask this. What current thing do you want updated the most? Could be crafting, could be dream, could be airport, villager dialogue. And
I can't say just NPCs.
Current thing.
Something that's already in the game.
Diving. There's so much that can be improved upon.
I guess the airport, because I'd love for it to have more to do, or more. I mean, either way would be great at the airport. Either more convenience would be brilliant, or more to do would be brilliant. So 100% the airport. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm torn. I think the airport's the most obvious, but things like Harv's Island really bother me. It is unfinished. It's literally you can't explore it. Diving, I think, is gonna year 2. It's gonna die. Once you get all the things, why dive? Yeah. So just the unfinished parts of the game. Villager dialogue, that could use an update. That's pretty a small thing, but some of the unfinished things. Harv's Island is just a mystery. It's one house, people. Come on, why aren't people talking about this? But that's all the questions. Thank you guys for submitting your questions. Zach, let's talk about the future of this show because I feel like a lot of people are interested. Of course,
is this where you fire me before the fiscal year kicks in?
Zach, it's not you, it's me. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I want to make this clear that this show really lives and dies by what's new in the game. Cause Zach and I can give our opinions on our favorite villagers, but that's not always going to be fresh and exciting. Mm-hmm. So, the show is going to continue on, no doubt, but maybe if there is a lull, we'll take off a few weeks or change up the way we do things. I don't know. What do you think?
I think the rapport we've built with the community, you obviously for majority of the episodes and me for the last 10 or so, I think they like to know about what we're up to. And so I'm hopeful that even if the game isn't perfect, based on Doug Bowser's comments, there should still be enough new stuff. And I think if we can spice it up with some, life skills and updates, and maybe you get that vlog channel going, Pat, we'll have more to talk about. And eventually if the world returns to some normal state, there'd be more to probably discuss, but I think this is the perfect time to just thank everybody for the incredible support, all the questions, all the viewership, the excitement. It's very humbling to see people excited for NookTalk and see people ready for the show, waiting for me to fix my hair. And it was very exciting and an honor to be added on to this team. Midway through. So thank you.
You did a great job, man. I just want to say, because I don't think a lot of people know, the day that everything kind of went down and the show was literally going to end, I was going to do maybe a couple episodes alone. Zach DM'd me, kind of just held out his hand and said, "Pat, come with me." That was cool though. But
it's been fun.
Here's the thing. I wouldn't if things start to speed up with Nintendo a bit and they kind of release more things, I wouldn't be opposed to making this more of a Animal Crossing Nintendo show. Maybe we go that way, but we'll discuss that. But the show will go on next year, and I'm excited, man. I feel like there's a lot to come, and this first trailer, we're gonna dissect it. Maybe have more guests. We wanted to build this rapport first, and then we'll invite some hooligans.
Guests are great. I sometimes just like hanging out with you. We have our banter at this point, but we'll try to get some guests. And I think at the end of the day, like, as long as people are playing the game, there's always content to cover. So
Yeah.
I don't see Animal Crossing dying anytime soon. So we should be. Fear not. This isn't like putting the early nail in the NookTalk coffin.
But I now to you guys, I really want to hear when you do experience Toy Day, I want your full opinions and like thoughts and things like that in the comments. Maybe we'll read them in the next episode.
Sure.
Because I'm really interested to like I mean, this is the data mine. Maybe this is all like a lie, but like this all seems like very light in content. So I'm very interested on your guys' like reviews almost of the event. But I think that's going to do it for episode 26, Zach.
And the year.
And the year, yeah. Here we go.
We made it. 2020 in the books. NookTalk in the bag. And we will be back. Well, we won't be back with a new update, but we'll be back before the update and eventually a new update. But,
yeah. Definitely follow us on Twitter at NookTalk Live. You can follow us, Switchforce and NintenTalk over on Twitter. Stay safe, guys. Stay healthy. And wear those freaking masks, man.
yeah, gosh.
Thanks again, guys. We'll see you very soon. Have a good one.
Bye.